Every autumn, a chilling story goes viral online. Birds plunging from the night sky to commit mass suicide. This happens in one specific place on Earth. Jatinga is a tiny village perched on a high ridge in the Dima Hasao district of Assam, India. The event doesn't happen every night. The environment has to align perfectly. It only occurs during the late monsoon season, usually September and October, on a moonless night when a southern wind is blowing. Biological science tells us that animals do not commit suicide. So if they aren't choosing to die, what invisible forces are turning this specific village into an inescapable trap? To understand the anomaly, we have to look at the baseline. This fabric illustrates the sheer scale of India's ornithological health. The subcontinent contains over 1,225 distinct bird species, thriving across incredibly diverse ecosystems. But that thriving natural order breaks down when the weather shifts in Jatinga. On those autumn nights, a thick, heavy mist and drizzle roll in, completely swallowing the forest tree line. When the birds fall from this fog, they aren't actually dead. They hit the ground alive, but entirely paralyzed, dazed, and refusing to eat. This behavior points away from a psychological choice and towards a severe physiological short circuit, which requires us to forensically deconstruct the environment of Jatinga. We begin with the victims. These aren't lost long-distance migrants, but 44 species of resident birds that live in these valleys year-round. Take this kingfisher, for example. Like many of the victims, it is a strictly diurnal animal. It operates entirely during the daytime. We see the same pattern with the Indian pitta, shown here, and the black drongo. These birds naturally sleep at night. They have no biological reason to fly in pitch darkness. If daytime birds are in the sky during a black, stormy night, an aggressive external force must be violently forcing them out of their nests. That force starts with the shape of the land. Jatinga sits near a 6,000-foot peak in the Boreal Range. High ridges enclose the village, leaving one narrow gorge. During the monsoon, this gorge funnels in heavy rain and wind, acting as a massive capacity chamber. Inside this chamber, high-speed winds whip through the trees. This physical catalyst forces the sleeping birds awake and pushes them into the dark sky. Once in the air, a second invisible trap springs. Directly beneath the loose soil of the village, there are 3 distinct geological fault lines. Normally, birds navigate using a specialized magnetic lobe in their brains, a biological compass that keeps them oriented. But during the late monsoon, rising groundwater fills these deep fault lines. The resulting pressure creates severe electromagnetic perturbations that radiate straight up into the sky. The wind flushes them into the air, and this magnetic scramble hits their brains. Their internal direction is completely destroyed. They are flying blind. So you have an exhausted bird, violently awoken by the wind, and electromagnetically blinded. In a panic, it searches the fog for any visual anchor. Down below, the village is dotted with human-made light sources, torches, street lamps, and fires. To a lost animal, these look like safe harbors. The final variable is the fog itself. Heavy water molecules refract and scatter the village lights, creating intense optical illusions that completely distort where the light actually is. The birds dive for the light, but their hacked senses cause them to misjudge the distance. They crash into trees, buildings, and the ground at high speeds. The extreme physical trauma from these impacts causes the paralysis. When the original Zema Naga settlers witnessed this in the 1890s, they understandably misinterpreted the trauma. Seeing paralyzed birds rain from the sky, they believed the village was under attack by evil spirits. A decade later, Jaintia settlers arrived and viewed the event as a divine gift. They learned to capitalize on the phenomenon, actively setting up lights and using bamboo poles to hunt the dazed animals. For over a century, local superstitions and viral internet myths masked the reality. The phenomenon is a purely biological sequence of events, and we have the tools to solve it. This technical understanding shifts the weight of responsibility toward a change in human behavior. The solution is specific but incredibly simple. On those foggy, moonless nights in September and October, villagers just need to turn off high-powered lights and open fires. people can still observe this incredible zoogeographical anomaly safely. Watchtowers allow for education and study without weaponizing the lights against the local wildlife. Jatinga stands as a record of the fragile, interconnected machinery within our environment. It is a place where we hold the physical switch to protect a landscape of living things.